that we are in a tie match at the trial. Double gen pop to avoid the deadlock. They do go down. There is a haste status effect. They do have to be careful here. The hatch is going to spawn momentarily. Dead Hard could get them the distance to get it too. Shot.
Really smart play on the ace. Oh my god, getting shot through the window.
No longer have distortion, and they are gonna teleport here. I think they get there in time. Yes!
Oh, the grab! Yes! That is disappointing.
This is be a 4-man out because.
But they will be able to block this. Yo, getting caught on that. Ace coming with the body block. Oh, they were here.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to Champions of the Fog. And we are here today with Chronicles versus Lore in round 3 of Group B, this time on the Wrecker's Yard, where we are going to be seeing Chronicles Oni against Lore's Survivor team. With that being said, we are loading on in, and it does appear to be a bit of an Oni mirror match, as we'll be seeing Lore's Oni immediately after this match as well. For set number 2, we are going to go into the Azerov's resting place, where we are going to be seeing Lore's Artist against Chronicles Survivor team, followed by Chronicles Twins against Lore's Survivor team. And if we do duke it out 1-1, we will be seeing a Executioner mirror match on FCC, the Father Campbell's Chapel. So we have an action-packed match for you all today. Hopefully you all are excited. Without further ado, we are jumping right in. And we will be following Heck as they pilot the Oni here on the Wrecker's Yard. First off and foremost, we are seeing a bit of corrupt intervention, slowing things down just a little, and we do see a survivor there at the excavator. An amazing find here for the Oni. Appears to be a Dwight, I believe, but also finding a Nancy as well. Sprint burst, Cheryl. The survivors are coming out of the woodwork. They are all over the place, and Oni, I imagine, could not be happier, though maybe with a bit of an M1 hit. Double mind game there. Will get the hit on the Cheryl, getting half of their power primed and ready. We do see the Lion Fang as well as the Splintered Hull, which will increase the number of blood orbs that Cheryl drops as she does do specific actions like vaulting, dropping pallets, and so on. Cheryl playing a dangerous game here, trying to get to the next tile. Will they make it in time? Oni with the lunge will successfully get the down quite early. Does not appear that there are any survivors nearby for the pallet drop, and so this here will be the first hook of this match. Heck, with a very, very early down. If these survivors are not on gens as we speak, they are going to be in a world of hurt. With that being said, Oni looking to try and get their power, but unable to find enough blood orbs to do so. Incidentally, got the down a little bit too quickly. Finding a Nancy, though, with the sprint burst and medkit to boot, meaning that the Oni will probably have to commit to this chase. Though looks like Oni instead actually going back, potentially going to guard their hook on the Cheryl, pushing him to the second stage. Instead, finding the Dwight at the gen. Oni activating their power and immediately going for a kick on that gen. We will note that gen is highlighted in yellow, meaning that there is either eruption or call of brine. We'll find out shortly what perk that is. We'll note here another survivor around that rock will narrowly escape. That is the Dwight. They do have a pallet coming up. Oni going for the slam, will get the down and get the pallet too. as there was no gen regression on the down. That there is, in fact, Call of Brine. No eruption today. Second hook here for the Oni and Chronicles. Things are looking tough for these survivors as Adam gets caught out here. And Oni doing a little bit of moonwalk chasing here. And that can only mean so many things for those of you who are aware. This here is a clear sign of play with your food. That will be one stack for the Oni. Play with your food just about off a cooldown right at the right time. 2 stacks of play here, making the Oni quite fast indeed. Adam maybe calling out what's going on. Oni not really having to do much here. Will get a M1 hit on the Adam and claim another stack of play here as the chase does end. Amazing job so far. We do find the Nancy here still injured, funny enough, as they do have the medkit there. Not sure if they could be 99'd or if they have already used the medkit on someone else. Either ways, Nancy will go down at the pallet. 1 stack of play still in hand for the Oni, getting that a little bit of additional speed. Survivors also keenly aware of the existence of deadlock, as the most progressed gen has been blocked for 30 seconds. Oni, though, knowing the time to a T, will get the kick with Call of Brine here. Power still in hand, and an Adam getting found. That there will be another stack of play with your food, I do imagine, though Oni not caring all too much. However, we will see another gen completed. That is now 2 gens for Lore to the 3 hook states of Chronicles. Oni out for blood, though, seeing the Cheryl, trying to get a bit of a mind game here, going for the flick, but unable to get the hit. Cheryl, though, getting faked out there at the pallet, will end up going down. Do want to note that the Nancy is currently broken, could be a deliverance and or a renewal. We will also see Adam there in the distance. And so far, it looks like it might, in fact, be a deliverance, as Nancy has not gone through a full health state. Second hook here on the Cheryl, that much closer to being sent back to the campfire via the entity. And looks like Oni will once again go around kicking gens, trying their best to regress these gens using Call of Brine. There is a ton of blood orbs laying around here for the Oni. Using their power seems pretty inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Keep in mind, however, survivors are still injured. None have yet healed for one reason or another. There's the Nancy on the pallet. Oni trying to go for the flick. Will successfully get the pallet break. However, will not be able to get the down in time. Nancy once again trying to get to this unhook, but unable to do so successfully. Will retreat to the shack. And Oni weighing their options now, whether or not they want to commit to this chase. Will find the Nancy, who is not looking behind her, and will end up going down at Shack. Amazing job here by Chronicles' Oni, as we will be seeing the 5th hook here now in the basement. Only 2 gens completed and 2 survivors on death hook. This is not a great situation for them to be in. More scratch marks and only 1 healthy survivor. Oni with their power once again in a fantastic position, as they will see the heal on the Dwight, it looked like, as well as the Cheryl. Survivors trying to bait Oni into the excavator. The Oni not falling for their bait, will instead find the injured Adam trying to work on this gen. Oni, though, opting to kick the gen instead and just kind of camp between these 2 gens here. Not really having to worry about much, as they do see a survivor go into the basement. Trying to get the mind game here. Will successfully slide at the excavator. Will try for the flick, but unable to get it. Will miss the Cheryl, as she will reach the pallet and get the drop to boot. Oni getting the slam, though, before the pallet. No vacuum pallet for Cheryl. That is huge for the Oni, who's now going to try and go for Adam here. And once again, knowing the timing to a T, will successfully get the down at the pallet. Dwight there at Shack Pallet. We will see Oni drop chase instead of going for it, and looks like Oni trying to go for another slam, just not able to do so in time. And looks like they will go for the pickup on the Adam here, who is still at the pallet. There, though, is a Unbreakable in the Oni's face. Oni just trying to position himself in order to not get a flashlight blind. However, Adam getting away with a very well-timed Unbreakable. Amazing job there. That might be the pressure that the survivors need in order to bring this back, as both Cheryl and Adam are now off the ground. Oni trying desperately to make sense of what all just happened and trying to get their power too. They do find the Dwight fully healthy, the best person they could probably find. Once again, popping, then taking, not exactly sure what the thought process is there. We do see a repressed alliance from the Cheryl. Oni once again trying to go for the fake here. Cheryl, though, not falling for it. We will see the vault here, though. Cheryl getting a bit of distance. Oni trying to go wide. And Oni just wasting time here bit by bit. Cheryl, though, at the rock. Oni not falling for the mind game, will successfully get the down. And they will go for the instant pickup here. I believe Cheryl will be out of the match, sent back to the campfire via the entity. One survivor out of the match, but two generators pretty well completed here. Survivors are definitely not out of the fight just yet. However, Colubrine put in a lot of work here, as these generators are regressing at 200% speed at 60 seconds apiece. Adam, though, in a bit of a weak position, as Oni will use their power. The Oni dropping chain with the scene, going for the Dwight instead and getting the down around the tires. Amazing job here by the Oni and survivors alike. Oni, though, smelling something fishy, does see the gen pop in their face from the Nancy. Oni, though, going back for the Adam, trying to get the pickup on the Dwight. And looks like Oni will go for the pick, as Dwight has only been on one hook thus far. So this will be 2 points in the Oni's favor. The Oni trying to drag the Dwight quite far into the map here. Trying to make it difficult for these survivors to get a clean unhook. Survivors now having to make a bit of a decision on what they plan to do next. A 10% regression off that skill check miss from the Nancy, and on top of which a call of brine to boot. Definitely don't want to be missing skill checks here if at all possible. Survivors still need 2 gens to get out of this match. And my small kitten, who is trying their best to co-commentate, needs to not click buttons on my mouse. So if you ever see a scene transition out of the blue, that is why. But that being said, we do see the Adam in chase with Oni. Adam vaulting back due to the mind game. Oni being very patient there, will successfully get the down. Amazing job there by the Oni, as I honestly was not expecting that to work out in their favor. With that being said, though, that there will be the first look on the Adam, and another power for the Oni in hand in case they come across the Nancy, though. Oni just one of these chases to end as quickly as possible, will instead use it on the Dwight. However, Dwight drops a pallet. Nancy caught out with Sprint Burst. Bit of a mind game there. Oni trying their best to get the flick, will not get it, however. And Nancy will be at the pallet. Oni trying to go with the mind game, will get the down. Amazing job there. Like I said, really impressed by the Oni here. Able to get these downs at the pallets. Most Onis will end up vacuuming instead, breaking the pallet underneath. But this Oni here, not fazed by the pallets, just getting down after down at them. We do see Dwight here. Oni going for the flick, unable to get the turn. Dwight getting a second chance here, as they will make the vault in time. Sorry, correction. Make it to the pallet in time. No vault there. Adam, though, trying to get the pickup on Nancy. Does not look like it's going to happen in time. Oni going for the pickup, and this here is going to be Nancy out of the match. Sent back to the campfire via the entity, leaving just the Adam and Dwight to try and get these 2 generators completed before the entity can hook them instead. Definitely a tall order here for the survivors, though not outside of the realm of possibility. However, Call O'Brien going to make things very difficult as Oni's going to have a lot of information going for them. We do see scratch marks going back to Jen here. That is Dwight, not afraid of the Oni whatsoever, as well as a skill check notification here from the Adam on the Jen. Oni decided to drop Dwight in fear of this Gen being completed. We will see Oni popping their power. Looks like they're going to go for Dwight instead of the Adam. And here we go. That is the Demon Dash. Dwight taking the vault. Oni with the flick, unable to get the hit, though very close, in fact. Dwight, though, will end up going down, and it looks like Oni, not wanting to let this last gen get completed, will make a rush over to Adam, who, though no scratch marks are found, there is that blood there giving them away. And this could potentially be the last down of this match, unless there is a unbreakable from the Dwight. If not, that there will be the end with Chronicles 24 points to Lore's 6 for completing 3 generators. No matter the results, amazing plays on both sides. And looks like that there will, in fact, be the last hook. So GG, well played to both teams. And congratulations to Chronicles with the 4K on trial number 1 of set number 1. With that being said, set 1 ain't over just yet. We are going to flip sides now with Lore's Oni against Chronicles Survivor team. So with that being said, we are going to take a quick break. But before we do want to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. All of the ads they watch, all the bits that I tip, all the subs that I buy, and all the Rogue Energy you buy using the code COTF goes to supporting Group A's $525 prize pool and Group B's $250 prize pool. With that being said, we're going to be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, we'll be seeing LoreTT versus Chronicles Survivor Team, and LoreTT has a little bit of an uphill battle. Need to get a 4K at 3 gens to tie it, or at 2 gens in order to take the set. So, definitely an uphill battle, but not outside the realm of possibility. With that being said, after this, we'll be moving to set number 2, trial number 3, with Lore's Artist versus Chronicles Survivor Team on the Azarov's resting place. That one gonna be quite interesting. I'm quite excited, as I am always a fan of some Artist gameplay. With that being said, we will not have to wait long to see what LoreTT can do today. If they can match and meet blow for blow from Chronicles Oni and Killer Heck. With that being said, we are just about to jump right on in. Hopefully all are excited, because I know I am. Let me see it in chat if you are. And with that being said, we are jumping right on in. And we got Revolutioner. I think I said that name right. I'm just going to call you Revolution. We got Revolution with the Corrupt Intervention in the distance. A must-have at this point, and always has been in comp. But you keen-eyed viewers, you may have seen what I just saw. I saw some scratch marks on the other side of Shack that seems that Revolution may have not. Some additional scratch marks here over by the corrupted gens. However, it looks like the Oni opting to go back to their generators, as they do see some additional scratch marks here and trying to find what gen these survivors have jumped on. And it looks like it's a Zarina with a balance landing off the hill. An Ace and a Adam also here on the gens, trying to get things going. And looks like Oni dropping chase with the Ace, instead going for the Adam, going back into the corrupted zone. This might be a little bit of a mistake, and Oni sensing that, as well as we are unable to get a hit here. Oni really struggling to get this first hit, but this is what survivors need to do. For all of you who have played against an Oni before, you know full well that you just need to deny that initial hit, really force the Oni into a back corner. But we see Adam here now stuck at a pallet. A little bit of an unfortunate one too, as there's not much to work with. Adam taking the hit at the pallet too. That is heartbreaking for these survivors who have done so well to deny Oni's power. Almost 2 minutes into this match. However, Oni dropping chase instead, finding the Claudette. Claudette at the pallet will drop it. Oni, not falling for the mind game, will get the hit, getting their power too. This is where the game starts, with Oni in their power, and we see the Ace running for their life, as they are now afraid, and rightfully so, as Ace will take the down from that Demon Dash. And Oni gonna be starting things off, though slow, pretty strong nonetheless. And we will be seeing them hook here, trying to look around for maybe a specific hook, though it does not appear to be a Scourge hook here today. Keen-eyed viewers here might notice that yellow bar there at the bottom, that there being Brutal Strength, on top of which the gen will be highlighted in yellow as well, signifying either Eruption or Call of Brine. Only time will tell there. Adam, though, caught out in the corner here. Brutal Strength will give Oni a little bit more distance, as Adam tries their best to make it to this vault. If they have life in play, they will get away, and it looks like Oni will drop the chase for that exact reason, trying to instead go back for the unhook, as they do find the Claudette and the injured Ace. Ace, though, waving towards the Oni. Oni maybe going, not sure if this is bait or what, but you know what? I ain't having it. Oni taking a stun at this weaker tile. This is actually pretty significant, as those tiles are pretty deadly for survivors. To get any value out of them is actually huge. However, Oni going for the swing and the miss here, and Claudette will take the hit before the pallet. Oni, though, now with their power in hand, these survivors need to be very careful indeed. Claudette going for the vault. It would seem Oni going around trying to go for the mind game. Will successfully get it on the Claudette as they do end up going down. 0 generators completed thus far on the second hook for the Oni. As a reminder for those of you who have just joined, the Oni here needs to get a 4K at 2 gens completed or a 4K at 3 gens. 2 gens means the win for Lore in set number 1. 3 gens means a draw for set number 1, but Oni will have a uphill battle indeed. However, deadlock and distance will be slowing things down ever so slightly in the Oni's favor, as they are going to be making a rush for the Claudette. However, unable to get that turn there, and Claudette will go down at the pallet. Looks like a potential deliverance, and that there will be the third hook for the Oni here. Looks like we're going to the basement, though. Survivor's going to have to be real careful here once the Oni has their wrath in hand. Oni, though, not able to do things fast enough as the second gen is completed. Just one more gen from these survivors will secure the draw. 2 more will secure the win in favor of Chronicles for set number 1. Keep in mind, we still have another potential 2 sets after this. Next one being on ARP. Ace with the blind over the pallet. Oni trying to track where he's going and just barely missing him there. Going for the swing, thinking he'll go for the pallet stun. This time not doing so. Ace really holding strong here as they will drop the pallet. Oni, though, smelling something fishy, is going back to the unhook in basement. No sign of the survivors. Looks like they understand the win condition and understand it well. They are not going for that unhook in basement if they means that they can get another 2 generators completed. This is the right move. However, we do see the unhook there on the Claudette. Oni with their power in hand. Scratch marks at the bottom of the basement. And looks like they have not left. There's the Claudette with the grab. Oni out of the power. Is there a decisive strike? There is not. That means Claudette has been sent back to the campfire, and Oni there replacing their katana with a very big stick there, it would seem. I don't think they're going to be able to use that in Demon Dash or get a 1 down, but that is honestly pretty funny to see here, as we will see Call of Brian on this 99% gen. However, I do not think it'll mean much, as we do see the 3rd generator completed. Oni at this point needing to kill the next 3 survivors before that generator is done. And looks like Zarina will be making a little bit of distance. Keep in mind, she only has bounce landing, so she will go down at this tower as she was unable to make any distance. Oni, though, will note that another survivor here, scratch marks from what looks to be the Adam. If they're able to get a 3-man slug here, this might just work out. Adam getting the pallet vacuum, knowing full well they cannot go down here. Oni taking the stun. Adam just buying them enough time to potentially get this gen. Oni had to make a decision here, as we will see this arena get back up. Could have been an unbreakable. If in instance that was the case, I expect to see this generator be about complete. Oni, though, now dropping chase, going back to the gen. There's the injured Zarina, who will once again go down. Oni, though, without their power, is in dire straits here, as they have 2 healthy survivors able to do a whole lot. And Oni, you know, just making a quick check of that locker. Want to be careful of a survivor with head on. That there will be the first hook for Juke. A 4th generator completed, and that there will secure the win for set number 1 in favor of Chronicles. However, it is not over just yet, as these players are still playing for their pride and to demonstrate their skill as a Dead by Daylight competitive player. Looks like Revolution will go for the tunnel out on the Zarina, however, unable to block that vault in time before taking the BT hit, and looks like Oni will go for either the Ace or the Adam. Trying to get a mind game here at this long wall. However, it looks like Adam not falling for it. Ace on the gen. Adam on the gen. Ace at the long wall. Call of Brian making a bit of noise in favor of the Oni. We do see 2 Jenners back here. However, we see that corner gen way in the back. I would imagine the Zarina being back there as we speak. Just cranking it out bit by bit, trying to make some time for these survivors. Adam will drop the pal, unable to get the stun though. And Oni taking a look back at the gen. However, they have that other gen way in the back to worry about. And I feel like that is the itch in the back of their mind right now, seeing no survivors around, none but the Adam. The question is, if you go back that gen, will the Adam complete this one? If you don't, will Ace and Zarina complete the one over there? I think it is a bit of a lose-lose scenario. Oni, realizing that, will decide to stick with the Adam, who does have a full 6 points to give. Keep in mind, though Lore has lost set number 1, points will be used for tiebreakers when it comes down to semifinals and finals, so something to keep in mind. With that being said, that there will be the 5th gen completed. No NOED in hand, so these survivors will be able to get some clean outs and potentially, if they are aggressive enough, attempt a 3-man here as Adam is on their first hook. However, as they have claimed victory for set number 1, I foresee these survivors making a mad dash out those exit gates unless they want to face the wrath of the Oni. And there is the Zarina. However, Ace nowhere to be found. Could be that Ace going for the unhook as we speak. We'll find out in just a few moments, as Ace has yet to escape via the exit gate. And sure enough, these survivors being very bold indeed, as we will see the Adam Oni going for the tunnel, ignoring the Ace entirely. Adam with a little bit of distance from a life, it would seem. Oni losing track a little bit here, will end up getting the down on the Adam without a decisive strike, which, never mind, is deactivated. That's one thing I always forget about, that it's deactivated at endgame. But an attempted flashlight blind will not come through. And looks like we will, in fact, see a 2-man out for Chronicles. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, not a bad result by the Oni. However, Chronicles Oni just able to do that much better in the end. And with that being said, that there will be a GG well played to both teams. And congratulations to Chronicles for taking set number 1. With that being said, we are going to actually stay on the same side, as we'll be seeing Lore kill as the artist against Chronicles Survivor team on Azarov's resting place. With that being said, we are going to take a quick break. But before we do, we want to remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Pugdom. Pugdom is a Dead by Daylight competitive community just like ours. They are actually hosting the second half of Group B over on their channel. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to stop on by, say hi, drop a follow. That way you can catch the second half of Group B there when they go live. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, we are going to be seeing Lore's killer once again kill against Chronicles Survivor team, this time on the Azarov's resting place, where we are going to get a special treat as they will draw us a picture of a murder. We are going to be seeing the artist. I'm always excited to see artists, to say the least. It is always a grand old time. Also, while we're waiting here, I do want to thank Baltic League for the raid. Welcome, welcome, raiders. For those who do not know us here at Champions of the Fog, we are a Dead by Daylight competitive league and tournament as we run those 4 qualifiers. But we are currently going to be casting Group B Round 3, Lore versus Chronicles. And we have 2 more matches for the rest of this day at 2 p.m. CST and 4 p.m. CST. So definitely strap on in, grab your popcorn and drink, and we are jumping right on in. Once again, seeing a revolution, piling the artist with a corrupt intervention. Taking a look around, but with that middle spawn, a little bit worried that survivors may have spawned in their active gens. Honestly, rightfully afraid, as it can happen quite often on this map with the spawn logic the way that it is. Artist trying to go for a mind game here. However, the Jake saying, "I think not, friend. I am going to be running away." Artist, though, setting up the bird, will get the hit. That was a amazing play there, resulting in a potential early down with this lunge, and they will successfully get it. That was barely 30 seconds into this match, and that just shows how lethal artists can be when they are able to set up appropriately. With that being said, that there will be the first hook. I imagine none of these gens have any progress whatsoever. Artists, though, sending out some crows to take a little bit of a look, knowing full well they have plenty of time to sit back and progress Jake to second stage. I think that's what we're going to be seeing here, is the artist will be camping out for the first 60 seconds, potentially the first full 2 minutes of this match, as the survivors will not be able to really do much of anything. However, artists really wanting to hold this 3-gen here. You know, not fired off on the opposite side of the map. Taking a look around, trying to keep an eye on the hook for any incoming survivors. They're going to have to be careful, as they do have their line of sight on the left. They're a little bit blocked off. And if survivors do note that, they will be able to get on by. However, crows being sent out once again, this time hitting the Atom from afar. Looks like they did jump into a locker, however, to get rid of the birds. Honestly, something that survivors do not do enough, at least in my opinion. This time hitting the Zarina, and looks like they will drop as the Jake will progress to second stage. Amazing job here by the artist so far. And I imagine Jake will get very quickly tunneled out if they are not careful. Do want to note here, as artists will kick the gen, that gen will be highlighted in yellow, that there being potentially Colubrine or Eruption. And we will see Jake get unhooked. Artists going back for the unhook as well. I imagine these survivors are going to try and do something to keep the Jake alive, as a down, or rather a kill at 5 gens will be absolutely backbreaking for these survivors. Jake going for the vault, will vault in, however, no life to gain distance. Artist right behind him, Claudette here, and Adam too. That is 3 survivors off generators as we speak. That is huge, as Adam will take the hit in lieu of the Jake. However, the artist is not done yet, as she desperately wants this kill. Claudette here as well, and we will see a deadlock proccing, allowing for the survivors to know that they have a little bit of gen regression. The artist getting a lot of pressure here. Claude just following behind, and now this arena too. They do not want to give up this Jake by any means. Jake, though, taking a bit of a risky pathing here. We do see the Zarina take a hit that only leaves the Claudette for another body block. And we do see the artist light burned the Dire Crow. However, Jake will go down. There was a lot going on there all at the same time. But with that being said, the Survivor's putting up a valiant fight in order to keep the Jake in the game. However, it would appear that he will be sent back to the campfire at 4 gens remaining. So amazing job so far by the artist, really applying the pressure to these survivors. Survivors, though, not going down without a fight as they have completed another generator here at the excavator. However, Adam, without a lot of resources to work with, will have to make work with nothing, as they will mind game the artist, surprisingly enough, at this very delicate tile. However, artist making a bit of a mistake there, will whiff at the pallet. However, Adam taking an injury here as they will make their way toward Shack. Artist setting up for the Dire Crows to apply a bit of a swarm, setting up a second one now as well. There is a potential, based on the distance from these 2 Dire Crows, that they could get a hit and a down if swarmed. However, Artist instead looking to drop chase with the Atom, afraid that survivors are currently working on gens as they speak. We will see that is the case, as the Claudette will take a swarm there behind the main building, jumping into a locker to get rid of them just a little bit faster. Once again, Colubrine will be applied to this gen, regressing gen at 200% speed. Honestly, a little bit surprising here to see the artist dropping their 3 gen in favor of moving to this side. Survivors have done a really good job of trying to split the gen pressure, but this side here is much weaker in comparison to Shack's side, which has a bit of a 3 gen, almost a 2-1 split depending on the distance, but they now are making a very risky play as they are now going back. However, Adam could have been on the gen and could still be on the gen as we speak. However, no sign of them so far. However, taking a swarm as I say that. Artist going for the injury. However, Adam jumping into a locker. I'm curious to see if anyone has thought of this before. What if instead of using, let's say, brutal strength, using deadlock, what have you, using Iron Maiden so that survivors can no longer jump into lockers? Would be kind of interesting to see if that playstyle is ever adopted in comp, though I'm highly doubtful, as that has some very significant counterplay. However, though, Adam will take the injury, and we will see another gen completed. I believe that is on Shack's side, too, meaning at this point in time, the artist has a 2-2 split in favor of the survivors. Adam just trying their best to make as much distance as possible. Artist trying to block off the tile, successfully doing so and boxing the Adam out. However, things are in the survivors' favor with this 2-2 split. 2 on main side, 2 on Shack side, meaning that the artist might have to camp this out on the Adam. However, seeing this arena there in the distance, this gen here just about completed. 99 potentially for the deadlock counterplay. We will see Claudette there going for the unhook. Artist trying to set up a second Dire Crow for the injury. Will successfully do so. Barely able to get the swing on the Claudette. However, Adam coming in for the body block with BT. However, 10 seconds only lasts so long. Adam going into the locker. Artist, though, smelling blood in the water, wanting to get the Adam out of the game. Adam doing a fantastic job using that pallet, not to get distance, but to mind game instead. However, Claudette looks to be still nearby, and the artist wanting to get the down will instead drop chase. Keep in mind, Adam did not move the second stage, so this here will be the second hook for Adam. Colubrine still applied to the gen behind main, which was 99 before. Deadlock just ended, probably on that gen. And so it seems to have regressed by a decent bit, and seems that Serena is nearby without anything in hand, will end up going down pretty easily, as we also see the Claudette coming in for the unhook on the Adam. This is looking grim for these survivors who prior had a lot of pressure. Artist, though, getting a bit of fat shamed there by the fire barrel, though things will work out. Honestly, things took a complete 180 from what I was expecting here. as the Claudette will end up getting hooked, and so too will the Zarina shortly after. Survivors in a much worse place than they were just 30 seconds ago, as they had only one more gen at 99%. But now with 3 people injured, 2 on hook, and the Adam left in the game, things are looking quite grim unless there is a potential deliverance in play. Otherwise, Adam might be hoping for a out via the hatch. However, I do believe Adam is on death hook, so only 1 point would be given to survivors, and also stripping 1 point from the killer, so it'd be a 2-point difference there. That definitely is not insignificant, however, could be much better for the survivors if they were able to get this last gen completed. Killer Instinct going off at the hill, and we do see the Claudette with the deliverance. I'd imagine they're going to try and go back for the unhook on Zarina, and sure enough, that is exactly what is happening. Survivors are potentially back in the game as Adam threatening the gen on the hill over on Shaq's side. Claudette going down after the deliverance. Could be a potential unbreakable. Artist sensing that does not want to leave them slugged out, instead hooking them here. I fear, though, that this deliverance may have been exactly what the survivors needed, as Adam going to be on that hill gen. Artist trying to send crows out to stop them from doing so. Seeing no Killer Instinct, getting no hits off of the swarm either. Sending out another one, this time getting the Killer Instinct, but we see him going back for the gen, potentially trying to commit to it. However, it is not close enough, as the Artist will go for the kick, regressing it at 200% speed with Call of Brine. Adam now at Shaq in a bit of a dire situation as he is swarmed by the dire crows. Looks like Artist setting up for the down and will just barely miss. Keep in mind, 2 survivors over on main side with the gen, which had some decent progression. Artist having to get this down quickly and then go back there before it is completed. However, as we say, that gen is completed and we will see Adam going down. Adam is on death hook. As far as exit gates are concerned, we do see the one immediately next to Adam, and we do see the second one there behind Shaq. That's going to be quite difficult for the survivors to get this exit gate open without the Artist seeing it themselves. Question of the day is, what will the Artist do here? Looks like they believe that the survivors are still on the other side of the map healing. Though that may be true, there is the possibility that they could have been on Shaq's side, starting to complete or open up the exit gates. Artist fearful of that fact, now going back, trying to get a read on where these survivors might be, finding the Zarina. That's actually significant, as I do believe Claudette is actually on second stage. However, Artist swinging at the air, a little bit annoyed by that geometry. And we will see the Zarina now in chase. Not much going for them here. Artist doing their best to try and box the Zarina out. Zarina, though, holding W. And we will see a life play here to try and gain a little bit of distance. Artist is going to have to do something quick, as Claudette could be opening up the exit gate and primed for a potential body block. However, that noise notification there was no way out, meaning that there are 60 seconds on the clock before these survivors can even attempt to open the exit gate. Claudette being seen there. Zarina going down. Claudette now caught out in the middle of nowhere. And unless there is an unbreakable in play, I imagine this here will be the last match or last chase of this set. But taking the injury, going back towards main side, could be a little bit of a play here to try and trip up the Artist. However, going for the pickup here and putting this Zarina in basement, I mean, this is actually probably the smartest play, as that means that they'll be able to set up for the hatch close while also guarding these 2 exit gates. I believe they're able to see both from one location, and in fact even see them from the location of the hatch spawn. So I do not foresee a way for this Claudette to escape anytime soon. This is a bit of a dire situation indeed for these survivors. However, getting that 5th generator could potentially set their killer up for victory in trial number 4. So far, no sign of the injured Claudette. Jukebox's hook timer ticking down slowly but surely. 15 seconds to go. There is a red light there on the exit gate. Jukebox suiciding though. No sign of the Claudette. Could they be trying to set up for a hatch escape? Still no sign. Artist having to go back towards the hatch. Claudette going on it. Artist abandoning the hatch. Claudette now trying to get away. However, things looking grim. And that there will be the down. Amazing attempt there by Chronicles. However, maybe going a little bit too quickly. Do want to note here, there are no hooks nearby. And we do see Revolution take that into consideration as they will end up closing the hatch. Keep in mind, Claudette is actually on their final hook, so a bleed out will reward the same number of points as a hook would for the artist. So it doesn't really matter here as far as that's concerned. We could wait the full 4 minutes on the bleed out or on the EGC, though it looks like artists will attempt to drag them into basement, knowing that they will be able to get back to the exit gate in time. Claudette, though, running back to the exit gate as quickly as possible. Artists, though, their best option here is just to wait for EGC, as it will only take 2 minutes of their time, and artists seeing that full well will go to the exit gate to body block it. Claudette knowing that they have that option available to them, trying to get back there. It's no loss of points for the artist here one way or another. Really comes down to how long we sit here and watch this. Artist, though, not going to be walking away anytime soon and saying, yep, this is my exit gate, not yours today, friend. Claudette wanting them to down him, but looks like the artist is saying, nope, no thank you. Artist still standing here waiting. Claudette now saying, okay, well, I'll just go to other exit gate. Unfortunately for the Claudette, I do not believe there is enough time here for them to do so, as the timer has been ticking. EGC is approaching, and they have all but 30 seconds left in this match. So instead of run away, Claudette will practice their moonwalk in here, and you know, a little bit successful. Could do better. Could use work on their form, I would say. But with that being said, and these final moments ticking down, GG, well played to both teams, and congratulations to Lore for their trial number 3 4K. With that being said, we are going to go on a quick break, so we will see you soon. All right, and we are back once again. This time, we will be seeing Chronicles Killer against Lore Survivor Team. And we are going to be seeing the deadly duo, the twins, going to be roaming the Azerov's resting place. And right now, they are going to be looking for a 4K at 5 gens completed in order to claim the tie and victory of this match. Or a 4K at 4 gens for the true and absolute definitive win, as they will take both set 1 and set 2. With that being said, we will not have to wait long to see what Jukebox the Twins is going to be able to do. Keep in mind, however, if Lore is able to get even a single survivor, no matter the hook state, out of this match, we will be moving to set number 3 on FCC with an Executioner mirror match. With that being said, let's jump right on in. Once again, seeing a bit of corrupt intervention to slow things down. Juke checking out these active gens in case the survivors may have spawned nearby. However, it does not appear to be the case, and it looks like they're going to be moving towards the middle area, bringing out Victor to prowl around to find these survivors just a little bit quicker. However, no sign of them so far, as survivors are seemingly going to try and hide this out. I don't know if it's a trick of the eye or what. I could have sworn I saw some movement there on the left side. Could have been a survivor, could have been a fire barrel for all I know. Though it looks like Juke's still unable to find the survivors as we speak. Bringing Victor out and really going for a long walk here, trying to find any sign of these survivors. And sure enough, there's the Dwight. We also hear a bit of progress on this gen. Looks like it may have been the Dwight working on it, trying to get the pounce, and will successfully get it at the tile. Looks like Juke will turn around here, and Dwight, not knowing where the twins were, will take an early down. Amazing job there by Juke, guys. Kind of curious to why they took a moment and a pause there at that tile. But we now see why, as they're trying to hide their red stain from Dwight, as they're unaware of their location. I do want to note that these survivors are keenly aware of the existence of a thanatophobia, slowing things down by 2% per injured survivor. However, if they are able to injure all 4 survivors, that there will be a full 22% slowdown across all of them. That would be huge in the favor of the twins. We do see some killer instinct there, going for the kick on Vic. However, survivors not able to do so before Juke was able to switch back. And looks like Juke will opt to stick by this hook. However, survivors there in middle. And a survivor trying to go for the kick. That there's the Nancy and the unhook from underneath the Claudette's nose. That was huge, as Dwight was in their way back to the campfire a little bit early. However, Dwight will make the vault here, and looks like twins will bring out Victor to play once again in an attempt to get this down. And we will see a pounce and a whiff. Dwight whiffed the attempt to kick, however, unable to get it in time, will end up going down. That would have been huge for the survivors to get Dwight out of dodge. However, it does not seem to be happening, and it looked like a potential locker hop right there nearby. I imagine they're waiting for the pickup on Dwight before going for the kick on Vic. Really smart play there. Do you want to note that survivors are also aware of the existence of Deadlock, as one of the gens was blocked by the entity for 30 seconds. 3 out of 4 perks currently known to the survivors. The 4th one still yet to be seen in this match. Adam, though, will be trying to work on that gen nearby, unable to do so. Potentially even just trying to get the attention of the twins away from the Dwight there in the basement. Victor trying to get the pounce here, will successfully get the mind game. However, the pounce is unsuccessful. And we are going to be back in chase with the Adam. However, Adam getting tripped up a little bit there will end up taking a hit. Looks like the twins will go for the unhook here in the basement. And a for the people play will result in a Nancy going down. Dwight trying to make their way out, and looks like that there will be a life to gain just a little bit of distance. Without Victor in hand, they will not be able to get there as quickly as they would like, as Dwight will get the pallet stun. However, this tile just a little bit weaker than what the survivors would probably appreciate. I think Dwight will take a hit here at the very least. Nancy's still down in basement. No sign of survivors going for the pickup, it would seem, though I imagine maybe a unbreakable in hand, as Dwight will make their way towards the middle of the map. The question is it far enough away for them to go for the locker play? And looks like it might be, though. In my opinion, I think they would be close enough, in fact. Juke, though, not being as confident, will go for the locker grab now. Nancy, mind you, still on the ground. Two survivors nearby with those killer instincts. One of them making their way towards the Nancy in the basement. Ace with the body block for the Dwight. Twins pretty confident that they can get the hit, and sure enough, they do. That will be the Dwight sent back to the campfire quite early here. 3 gens left for these survivors to complete. Nancy back up off the ground, no unbreakable in hand from her, and looks like the twins will make their way back towards Shaq in order to get the down on Nancy and potentially mark her as the next victim to be sent back to the campfire empty-handed. A failed skill check potentially on a heal would be quite unfortunate. Sure enough, it does seem to be that way. Twins trying to get the pounce, unable to do so on the Nancy, who will get the kick on Vic. Really clean job there by the Nancy at that pallet. However, Charlotte, not that far away, will now be in chase. And it looks like Adam is here as well to join the party. Nancy trying to get away fast enough. Unable to do so. Victor sliding left and right down that tile, narrowly missing the Adam. And looks like Twins will go for the hit on Adam, successfully doing so. Only survivor yet to be injured seems to be the Ace. And Nancy potentially still here somewhere in this tile. However, looks like Adam will end up going down. A noise notification there in Shaq. Could be the Nancy on a fast fall. Maybe a bit of a misplay there, giving the Twins a whole lot more information than she probably intended. And that there will be the down on the Nancy. Ace, only one still up off the ground. And that there is a noise notification in the distance. Information left and right in favor of the killer. However, Adam is back up, but will narrowly be missed by the Twins there at the pallet. That was their one and only unbreakable. So that means that the Ace is going to have to come in and potentially get the pickup on Nancy. However, Vic once again missing the pounce and unable to get away before getting kicked here. And it would seem now that the Adam will go for the pickup on Nancy, potentially barely able to do so. However, both Nancy and Adam caught out in the middle of nowhere. And that will be the down on Nancy once again. Keep in mind their bleed out timer about halfway expired. If in instance she were to bleed out at this point in time, that would be a loss of 3 points in favor of the survivors. Nancy setting up for the pallet stun. Twins knowing someone's nearby. That appears to be the Ace. And looks like Vic will once again go for the pounce. Once again missing though. Twins just unable to land these pounces here. Adam trying to get the pickup right behind Charlotte. However, unable to do so. Looks like Adam will try and juke the jukebox. Successfully doing so. And Ace this time going for the pickup. Nancy gonna get picked up. However, Victor once again downing her then and there. And Charlotte right there for the potential grab. However, Ace sticking nearby will successfully get the pickup. However, Juke going to lunge out of the way of the pallet. That was huge for this killer here today. And finding the Adam thereafter to go for a immediate chase. I imagine the Ace is just a little bit salty about that one, as he was right there ready for the pallet drop. I can only imagine chaos in the comms as we speak. I will say, though, a much better situation for these survivors to be in than what they were once in, as prior to this, it was looking quite grim. With 2 survivors up, even with both injured, they still have the possibility of completing some generators. However, deadlock is going to make things quite difficult, and this 3-gen on Shaq's side is going to be quite the uphill battle against the twins, able to split pressure. We will note that Adam is healed up now. Thanatophobia only slowing things down by 2% across the board. However, looks like the twins are out on the prowl, pushing Victor further into mid in an attempt to get some information as survivors make their way over. We do know a deliverance, though, right behind Charlotte, and looks like we will actually not be going for the tunnel out on the Nancy. Instead, going for the Adam. Will successfully get the pounce, stopping the Adam from completing the gen, breaking the 3-gen. That is a huge play here from the twins, and a back-breaking moment for the survivors, as Adam may be unable to get to a tile before twins is able to down them, unless the ace comes in for the potential gen completion. It looks like they will not be able to complete the 3-gen. Deadlock, though, will block that gen for 30 seconds, and things are going to be quite interesting now, as if a survivor's there primed and ready, they'll not be able to complete the jet in time. Nancy here is still injured, by the way, broken from their deliverance, is going to be bringing the twins back towards Shaq. A little bit of a mistake in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Nancy going towards Shaq. There is the pallet vault. That is the unhook on the Adam, meaning that ace is nowhere nearby. Nancy, though, just trying desperately to make something work here, trying to get something out of nothing. And looks like Vic will be coming out once again to go for the Nancy. There's the pallet like before, where Nancy was able to do something very similar. 2 survivors healed. Nancy still injured, going for the vault, but unable to get there in time, as Victor will end up downing her. And looks like Victor is once again going to be out on the prowl in order to find either the Adam or the ace. And sure enough, here's the Adam once again. Going to be going for a little bit of a piggyback ride, as we see the ace going for the pickup, unable to do so fast enough. This here will be Nancy's second hook, as they did deliverance just before, meaning that she is that much closer to the campfire. However, this generator only about 3/4 of the way completed. Keep in mind, no real gen regression that we've seen so far, no eruption, no color brine, no overcharge that these survivors are aware of. This 4th perk's still a little bit of a unknown for these survivors and for us as the viewer. However, looks like twins did sniff out a little bit of bait there. However, once again, missing the pounce on the ace. And ace will successfully be able to get the unhook for free without risking a 1-for-1. Ace will take the hit, as Nancy unable to get in front of them for the BT block. Vic coming out, going for the chase, trying their best to count to 10. And it looks like Nancy trying to use their environment to their advantage. However, still going down. Keep in mind, Nancy is now at less than 30 seconds until bleed out. However, at this moment in time, a bleed out will result in the same number of points as a hook would. So leaving Nancy on the ground is actually a valid strategy here, as if the survivors aren't able to pick her up, that will result in 1 point for the twins. There was some blood back there on the tile near Victor. Sure enough, that there is the ace. Victor taking their time, getting the pounce and the down. It is now up to the Adam and Nancy to do something, anything, to complete these next 2 gens and get a 1-man escape. However, I do not think that this will be in the cards, as twins just able to apply so much pressure across the map, with basically the equivalent of 2 killers here able to pressure these gens. This 3-gen here nearly completed before, now just ground to a halt. Looks like twins will go for the ace, trying to see if there's a survivor nearby, but no sign of them. Ace, mind you, has yet to be hooked, so this is a fresh hook in favor of the Twins. With 6 points to give, Ace is going to be hanging on the hook for quite some time, I imagine, as Victor is nearby, primed and ready to pressure the unhook. The gen there going to be regressing at only 0.3% per second, so it is possible that survivors are able to come in and attempt a completion in that 3 gen. However, they still have another gen that they need to complete before the Twins kills them off, and things are looking quite grim indeed. However, Twins unable to locate where the Nancy and Adam are as of this moment, looking around desperately with Victor, but no sign of them thus far. However, a little bit of work here on the generator, but no survivor caught on the killer instinct. And I believe we saw Nancy there down the left side of the middle. Not sure if the Twins saw them. Nancy, though, trying to sneak in, unable to do so. Sprint burst in hand to try and make a little bit of distance. Adam going down the right-hand side to try and cut off the Twins. However, Victor going for the pounce will injure Adam. No sign of the Nancy. We see them there as Ace will move to second stage. That now means that both the Ace and the Nancy primed and ready to be sent back to the campfire. Adam with only 1 hook thus far. Once again, these fires need a 5 gen completion with 1 man out in order to claim victory. Twins with a very interesting attempt at a mind game here. Nancy, though, not falling for it as she is holding their corner like a champ. Adam attempting to go in as a last-ditch effort. However, it is not going to happen as the Twins just pushing them off bit by bit. Match, by the way, taking a little bit longer than expected. Do apologize. I already ran the snooze button once already, but as we run into Ad Manager, we are going to be running an ad ever so slightly. Do apologize about that. Nancy, though, taking a hit at main, and looks like Adam trying to get back in with Victor, however, just unable to do so. And looks like the Adam will be at Shack. Nancy trying to get back in, but fact of the matter is these survivors need to heal up in some way, shape, or form. I feel like that medkit might be empty. And going back and forth, things will never end until the Ace is sent back to the campfire, I fear. And looks like that will be that for the Ace as time has ticked away. Adam going for the unhook, though. Looks like Juke wanted to go for Nancy instead. And with Victor out on the prowl once again, looks like we'll be hunting for the Adam, trying to ignore the Nancy here, who is now over on main side. However, Adam seemingly disappeared into thin air, has now been caught here at this generator. And Adam holding the pallet to the best of their advantage. However, Victor with the down. Question is, are we going to see the pickup? Are we going to see the hunt for the Nancy? I believe he'd already seen Unbreakable once this match, so no Unbreakables left in the game. Not to mention, as we mentioned prior, these survivors need to get 5 gens and a 1-man out. With that being said, Victor trying to hold the pallet, thinking that Nancy was going to drop. She did not, however. Nancy faking out. Victor will miss with the pounce and getting kicked on top of which. Juke with the nodders there, saying good job to the Nancy. However, Adam still slugged out, unable to do much of anything. Looks like Juke will bring out Victor once again to hunt down Nancy. However, they will find them at main building. And looks like Nancy in a very advantageous position. Nancy, though, vaulting out, and looks like Vic will not get kicked and will get down to boot. Nancy once again on the bleed out timer. No reason for them to pick him up. However, if Adam has made their way to the hatch at Shack, there is a possibility that they are able to get out if the bleed out happens at the right moment. However, no Adam in sight as the hatch will get closed. Adam still with 2 hooks to give. However, looks like Juke may have seen them here in this corner. Maybe not, though. I could have sworn I saw a bit of a blood trail going into the corner there, but looks like Juke may not have. This here going to be ending the 4K one way or another, and I believe that may have been Adam there on the left in front of Shaq. Juke, though, not seen them, and maybe I just seen crows, for all I know. I could have sworn I saw, like, an Adam there crawling in front of Shaq, but apparently I'm the one going crazy today. Fair is fair. With that being said, that there will be the final hook of this trial and of this match. Quite a close match indeed, resulting in 30-34 in favor of Chronicles. So GG, well played to both teams, and congratulations to Chronicles for taking the W for round number 3 of Group B. With that being said, we are going to take a quick break before jumping into the next match, where we are going to be seeing Demice versus How Do We Get Here at 2 p.m. CST. Actually, I feel like that match may have been rescheduled to 12, if I'm not mistaken. So we actually make sure there for what match we're going to see. Nope, actually it is at 2. So we will be seeing Demice versus How Do We Get Here at 2 p.m. Followed by, I believe, Atmosphere versus Iconic at 4 p.m. So make sure to strap on in and visit here once again in just 22 minutes. But with that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. But before we go, we do want to thank you, the viewers, for all of your support here today. Thank you all for the ads that you watch, the bits that I tip, all the subs you buy, and of course the Rogue Energy buy using the code COTF. With that being said, we'll be back in just 22 minutes. Bye-bye!